Hello and welcome to another episode of Spotlight Sessions. My name is Ilan, I'm the host, and today I'm really excited to be having a conversation with Becky Large. Becky is the founder and executive director of Champion Autism Network, also known as CAN. And we found out a little couple seconds ago before we started recording that we also are alumni of the same university. How's it going, Becky?
It's going really well. Thank you for having me.
It's my absolute pleasure, and I'm really glad we got connected. We got connected through the Travelability Summit. You met Rafi on our team. Rafi connected us, and kind of the rest is history. But Becky, you've got a extensive life and professional story, so we'd love to know a little bit more about that. So tell us about yourself.
I am a business and marketing professional and a mom to a young man with autism. And when we relocated from the Philadelphia area down to Surfside Beach, South Carolina, about 10 years ago, and it just became apparent that there was all these wonderful organizations and services geared towards to support the person with autism, ABA therapies, physical therapy, but really nothing for the family. And because of some of the sensory processing issues that people with autism have, there can be tantrums and meltdowns when you're out in public due to the sensory overload.
Hmm.
And so it becomes very isolating. And there was really no supports for the families or the siblings. So, or, the opportunity for the person with autism to, gain social experience as well. So that's kind of where Champion Autism Network, or CAN, was born out of.
And I understand the story of where CAN came from, but what is the work specifically or the service that you are providing to the community?
I think that the first thing that we really do, and that means the most to our families, is spreading autism awareness. It's not rocket science, truly. It's kind of a counterintuitive disorder. We live in this tourist destination, or really anywhere, and you see a child having a tantrum or a meltdown, and the first thing you think, even me, although I'm changing, is that's like a spoiled child or a parent who can't control their child.
Hmm.
And really, that's not the case. We're really, when that happens as an autism family, which happens, pretty much every time we leave the house, um, you're just met with so much judgment and ridicule. So spreading the autism awareness, it's like a light bulb goes off, and reducing judgment so that our families can come out and play. The other thing we do is we um, kind of curate events to be sensory friendly, modified for the person with autism, so that the family can experience a traditional, family outing, whether it's, a movie, a sensory friendly movie. The lights are up, the sound is down, and the people with autism are free to move around. Um, Bowling, different attractions and venues, aquariums, museums. So that's the other thing. And then we also train, we have a training program online or on site to train and certify restaurants, resorts, attractions, venues, and the general public on the needs and accommodations of our people living with autism.
That's incredible, and I'd be really interested to know a little bit more about the training aspects of it. What is some of the curriculum that you'll teach to people to increase their awareness and knowledge about autism?
So currently we have several different modules: resort, restaurant, retail, general public awareness, first responders, and we're just getting ready to release activities and education. They're all offered in English and Spanish. That's the online. So the online modules provide kind of, it's structured so that there's a little bit about autism awareness, and then kind of like job specific to the particular vertical, right? Resorts, we talk about when a family's coming to visit the resort. And then we just kind of provide some other, like, what the family's going through. It's interactive. We have an autism simulation in there that's proven to be very effective and memorable, and endorsed by pretty much anybody with autism who's watched it. They're like, that's what I live with every day. So, it's really trying to support the employees of these businesses. It's one thing for the managers to go, oh, yeah, or the owners, sure, we want to participate in your program. But in educating the employees is really key. We have two levels. One is supportive, where the organization gets an opportunity to, access to the online modules, and we give them social media shout outs and support. And the other is champion level, where we actually, this is for bigger properties, where we go through and conduct a walkthrough and develop a safety plan. So if there is some sort of episode or elopement, the team knows how to handle it.
Wow, that's incredible and very powerful and very practical as well. And Becky, I know your role is executive director and founder, but what does your day-to-day look like? Do you have a lot of staff members? Do you have volunteers? What does a day in Becky's life look like?
We have, I'm blessed to have a deputy director, Stephanie, who came aboard in March. And that was a game changer, because up until then, I was running a marketing consulting company and probably working 80 hours a week for CAN. So Stephanie has alleviated that and allowed us to grow. So we're really working hard now. COVID, of course, took us back, but gave us the opportunity to put our education program online. So that was wonderful. So now we're developing the 2022 budget and the strategic plan, and really, really devoting time to that. I'm calling it CAN 2.0. We have this national partnership here in the United States with Blue Green Vacations, and we're in their 46 markets. And we really, really want to expand that now that, you know, people are used to working virtually, taking online trainings. It's just the perfect time. So right now we're in the crunch phase. We also switched accounting systems. We also switched CRM systems, combined databases. So a lot of back end work right now, and we're really looking forward to getting out there and doing more networking, having more meetings, strategic partnerships. I every day is different and wonderful. I'm either, going to do a walkthrough for a sensory friendly event at, say, Big Air Trampoline Park, or, I get to have great interviews with people like you, or meetings with business leaders here and around the country. So I just want to make a big splash and, support as many people as we can. And, I'd like nothing better than to see our logo all over the world. So I'm, world domination for autism awareness.
I love it, and we are so grateful to be partners with CAN and your mission, and to really help get autism awareness out there on a much greater scale. And I'm sure also your background in marketing and communications and sales is playing a massive part in that. So I wanted to ask you, do you have a professional or personal achievement that you're most proud of? Is it something within CAN? Is it something or personal story within your family? I'd love
Mm.
to kind of understand that, because you do have a wealth and breadth of experience.
Uh, I think one of the things that I'm really most pleased with, and of course it takes a village, right? You asked about volunteers. We've got Stephanie is our other full-time employee, but like a bevy of, our board members, blah, 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 blah. But I think what got CAN more on the map was my marketing, and being part of a BBC documentary, BBC One documentary.
Hmm.
That was pretty epic. So we're trying to get back to, where our PR and marketing pre-COVID. So that was really epic, and I think I'm just a better person and mom and leader now. That we've been a 501c3 or a nonprofit since 2016, and I'm really proud of that, and I'm super stoked for CAN 2.0. I mean, look out.
Amazing. And I'm also excited for CAN 2.0 and to see where we can intersect and support. So, Becky, accessibility touches people in a lot of different ways, oftentimes
Mhm.
personal, oftentimes professional. What is your definition of accessibility, or about access, really?
Right. So I was thinking about that because, it's been a wonderful eye opener, being involved with travelability and getting more into, diversity, equity, and inclusion. I'm involved in the Chamber of Commerce with that. So I'm more involved with the intellectual disabilities, or IDs. So accessibility or access to me is much different than somebody in a wheelchair or who's blind. The accommodations that we want are just for people to lead with love and accept and be aware. So access to me is awareness and non-judgment.
That's a really interesting take on it because for me, as you were saying that and you said the word accept very intentionally, it has the same kind of root letters of accessibility.
Mm-hmm.
So acceptance and accessibility. That's amazing. That's a great takeaway that I'm going to take and implement moving forward. And Becky, if you said with the Chamber of Commerce, you work with lots of different businesses. What is kind of your core message that you're telling them when it comes to awareness about people with autism?
I think the biggest thing is that it's not truly, you just lead with love, and it's not rocket science. It's not. It's just, you know, once you learn that the simple accommodations that your business could make, whether you turn the music down or the lights up or just having your staff smile and be accepting, it's like it's kind of that simple. It just really is. So that's really it. Like, contact us, do it today. We have made our programs accessible and affordable, um, on purpose. Could we charge more? Absolutely. Do we want to? No, it's all about, we got to stay true to the mission. And the mission is to create communities of understanding, whether that's, towns or online communities or business communities. Like, that's what we do. And that's the mission.
And I love that mission. I also love the fact that you're not just thinking about accessibility in the programs and the services, but accessibility of gaining access to those programs and services. And really, Becky, the last question I wanted to ask you, and I'm excited for this question, is if you could have a conversation with anybody or a dialogue with anybody in the world, who would it be and why?
It's almost not fair because, there's so many people. I and the thing that, and maybe it's because I'm in the throes of budget right now, and that's not, I didn't come from the nonprofit world. I'm very entrepreneurial and I drive my board crazy. But I think, like somebody with crazy financial prowess, like Warren Buffett or Bill Gates, probably Warren Buffett, I would think, or maybe some sort of, I was trying to think of like a nonprofit rock star. And I could certainly use direction in that too. But I think me growing and learning in that area is critical to our success. And that's kind of where my headspace is right now.
For sure, and I agree that taking the lessons of the commerce world and the financial world and bring them to the nonprofit world and creating major lasting impact is so important. So Becky, I really wanted to thank you for being on the Spotlight sessions. We're so proud to be partners and supporters of the Champion Autism Network, and we can't wait for CAN 2.0.
Woohoo! Thank you so much.
All right. Until next time, Becky. Thank you.